Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
So the Carolina Panthers finished 5-12 last year. They were 29th in offense, 30th in passing offense, 18th in rushing offense, and they were 32nd on defense. So a lot of work to do. Favorite move that the Panthers made?
Just staying the course, building through the draft, not going crazy after mid players and paying them huge contracts. I don't feel like they did a ton of that. Um, and then they're gonna have another year with Dave Canales as their head coach, and I think that's gonna help out Bryce Young a lot.
I like it. Yeah, I'll just to add to that, McMillan. I'm really excited about him. 6'5", 212. I'm like, that's like Calvin Johnson numbers. I don't know what his 40 was. I should have looked that up, but I'm like, that sounds like a receiver to me. I like that. I also like that they signed Damian Lewis. He was the 12th best offensive lineman according to PFF last year. So getting him to protect Bryce Young, I think, is important for the Panthers, and then extending J.C. Horn. I like that move, although there's are obviously some injury concerns with him. He's got to stay healthy, but I do like that.
Yeah.
Okay, least favorite move.
Changed after a conversation. It's now trading Adam Thielen.
Yeah,
Um, I think they need help on the offensive side, not getting rid of the help on the
right.
offensive side. And I get Adam Thielen isn't young and he isn't like a promise like he is who he is nowadays. He's at the twilight of his career. He might have a couple years left, but it's always nice to have that veteran receiver with the young receiver to show him the ropes. And again, he's solid enough where you can get him the ball and he'll still catch it. And they need help. Bryce Young needs help, and trading away their second best receiver probably is not a good sign.
Yeah, I had weapons as well, especially after the Thielen trade. It's like, we talk about this, like you set your quarterback up not to fail, and if he fails, then he's not a good quarterback, right? So one way you do that is for pass catchers, and even having somebody who is sort of a security blanket for Young, and I felt like Thielen was that for him. So a little disappointed in the weapons, and then the linebacker position they lost Dane Jackson and Shaq Thomas, and so they're kind of replacing both of those guys. So is going to be a little tough, and it provides a bit of uncertainty. So that's where my two kind of least favorite moves. Um, what's your green flag going into the season?
Just again staying the course of just building through the draft, not going too crazy. Um, another you said green flag, right?
Yeah, green flag. Yep.
So, just a, not like just another year with just staying the course. I'm always a fan of not going too crazy and trying to make when you're more than enough pieces away. They need a lot more pieces. They ain't going out and trying to make it happen this year.
Yeah, I kind of put the same third year with Young. I think this is going to be the year so that's sort of a green flag. You're kind of going to know after this year, and then having Dave Canales for another year with Young. I think we're going to hopefully, for Panther fans' sake, you see a little bit of a leap here, because even though I think Young had like solid second half of the last year, it's in comparison to the rest of it's relative, right? So
Yeah,
it's in comparison what he was doing before, but we need a little bit bigger of a leap from him this year, I think, if we're going to really believe that he's that franchise guy. So I think having another year with Canales, some of the things with like the offensive line signings and the attention there, I think will help Bryce Young. But I think after this year, you're going to know what Bryce Young is. That for me is a green flag.
yeah.
Red flag.
Bryce Young. What version?
Yeah, exactly.
Is he the second half of the season or the first half of the season, Bryce Young? Is he his rookie year, Bryce Young? I mean, there's more body of work of him being not a good quarterback than a
Mhm.
good quarterback.
Right.
I get everyone's excited about him, but that's my issue. There's more body of work of him being a bad quarterback. They're they're gonna find out this year if he's the guy. That's a positive. But the issue if he isn't the guy, then you're starting all over again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the nice thing is, though, I don't like, what me and you talk about that sometimes teams will, um, well, they got Andy Dalton as a backup, so maybe not. I was thinking, if he is not the guy, they'll have a high enough pick where they'll have a chance to get the guy. But if they put Andy Dalton in, they might actually play themselves out of that because Andy Dalton is like a quarterback, so
Yeah.
he'll probably accidentally win you a couple games. But yeah, unless if they just keep Young in there and just see what happens, that's the other option. Um,
Probably the fans' biggest frustration is just a solid enough person that he ain't gonna do you anything, but he ain't gonna make you be the worst team in the
the
NFL.
That's right, that's right. My red flag, the lack of weapons for Young, because again, you got to set your quarterback up not to fail, and I feel like some of the weapons are more in question because of the trading of Thielen, and then the defense. They were 32nd last year. They do get Derek Brown back from injury, I believe, but I don't know if they did enough to address any of the defensive concerns. But I will say, to be fair, I don't think they're worried about like competing week after week, like being championship contenders. They're just worried about growth right now. So it's not like a
Yep.
huge red flag, but it's a red flag enough. I wanted to point it out. Fantasy football go-tos?
I like Chuba Hubbard.
Hmm.
I think a lot of people aren't high on him.
Like me, yeah.
Uh, and I feel like so you can kind of sneak 1,000 yard running back on your team.
Yep.
And not like sneak as in you're gonna get him round 10, but you can get him like the sixth, seventh, probably a little later than that. But and then you get still a number two running back, and that's a lot in fantasy football to get a number two running back that late.
Yeah, I agree. I actually put down starting running back. So Hubbard is the guy. Although I'm not like a big like he doesn't do a lot for me. It's just like he kind of reminds me of like when you would draft like you know late stage Frank Gore
Yeah,
or like someone like Thomas Jones. You remember Thomas Jones from the Jets? Like
yeah,
it's just somebody you'll get 1,000 yards and people kind of overlook him. That's kind of and because even I am not like I kind of get it. Like okay, yeah, so yeah, that's a good one. I also put McMillan, especially after Thielen got traded. I think he's just going to be force fed the ball a lot. So he might,
yeah,
depending on how high he's going, he might be an interesting pickup.
yeah. But my concern with Thielen, not Thielen, McMillan is just he's going to be the number one, and very clearly now.
Yeah,
So he's going to get the number one. Not that team's. He's going to get the most attention.
yeah,
So
true, true. Prediction for them: they Vegas has 6.5.
I have him at 7 and 10.
Me too. Okay.
There we go. I think
That's
they're going to
right.
surprise people, but
I think so too. And I know it's your division, but I just don't like when like I want a NFL with a bunch of quarterbacks in it, like good quarterbacks.
yeah,
And so I'm kind of rooting for Bryce Young because
same.
yeah, I'm rooting for him. So I'm gonna be optimistic. I think they'll win 2 more games, but they're gonna be more competitive this year. And I think next year you'll see hopefully another leap if you're not a fan of the South and rooting for a certain team. I think there could be a potential for that. So seven
Well,
ten.
I also like Dave Canales.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna be a really good head coach, which I was upset he went to the Panthers, but at the same time it was a head coaching job, so I can't really fault him for that.
Right.
Um, so like I like Dave Canales. It's also going to be his third year as a head. I mean, like a second year as a head coach and third year calling plays. So he's going to be getting better at that.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.